Soy, the final frontier. I'm Comrade Britain.
And I am Stephen Gilmore. These are the voyages of the starship USS Costco, our ongoing mission.
To explore old Trek episodes, both the most based and the bastest of all time, and to boldly go to
1950s New York! Trek the podcast is here. One half vegan, one half queer. Gay, 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 100% communist. Unless we have a less leftist guest. Patrick and Breton. Talking, joking, farting, and shitting. All about Star Trek. Like our buttholes, this show is wrecked. Soy Trek the podcast is here. So listen to Soy Trek right in your ears.
Whoa, whoa, hody do do. Everyone's going to the hoedown.
Oh, the hoedown.
We're gonna make it a showdown. We're gonna go and whip out our meaty sticks. It's time to whip out your cock, boys.
Oh, our cocks. You said meaty sticks. I thought you meant Slim Jims, so I just brought a bunch of those.
You don't call your cock a Slim Jim? a Slimothy James.
A Slimothy James.
that's his full name.
Has anyone ever done like, I'm the Slim Jim, yeah, I'm the real Slim Jim?
Yeah, someone's definitely done that.
I'm like, damn it.
No. No, I think that's a unique idea because it's pretty bad. Yeah, that's probably. I don't think anyone would think of that on purpose. Yeah.
I think I answered my own question with saying that. I was like, who would have thought of this? And you're like, no one would.
No.
Someone did, but then they quickly squashed that and went to a better idea.
Yeah, they thought of it and then they put the gun in their mouth.
Like, well, it's over for you now.
Hell yeah, boys. Man, you been down to the shipyards lately? Sucked a few sailors' dicks?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Bummer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I guess you don't live in Bremerton anymore.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Moved to Bremerton? Yeah.
Not as many dry docks around.
I moved to Bremerton, and it sucked.
You could definitely suck a longshoreman's dick, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably.
If we're calling them longshoremen, they sure have short penises. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to our longshoreman friends listening to the podcast, but you do have a short penis.
We love our longshoremen.
But I'm sure it's fat. I'm sure it's very, like, girthy.
That's what, they call them Coke cans.
Yeah,
That's why I call a longshoreman a Coke can.
Yeah. That's what they like to be called. Let's go down to the docks and just call them all Coke cans.
Hey, Coke can!
Hey, Coke can, get over here, park my car.
They're like, what the fuck you say to me?
I say Coke can because your dick is short but really, really thick like a Coke can. How'd you know? Yeah, me too. How'd you know?
Whip them Coke cans out. Let's make a 6-pack.
Yeah.
That's why they call me vending machines, because that's where the Coke cans go.
Yeah. That's why they call me bottle deposit, because I stick my dick into those recycling machines.
And that's why you can't use them anymore.
Yep, that's why they banned me from the Kroger store.
Yeah. All Kroger properties. Kroger incorporates a lot of grocery stores. Fred Meyer, UFC.
Yep.
Like, they're all
King
connected.
Supers. King Supers in Colorado. Yeah, they take a lot of property.
Yeah, so that means you can't go to any of those.
No. It's just like, it sucks with everything being a conglomerate, because if I whip my dick out in one place, I'm not allowed to go, like, any place.
Any place.
You know, it's like I fucking, like, whip my dick out at a Chili's, and suddenly I'm not allowed in the UN building.
Yep.
What?
You go in, you whip your dick out in a Chipotle. You're pretty much banned from all food franchises after that. Subway, McDonald's.
I whip my dick out in an elementary school. Suddenly I'm not allowed in any elementary school?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
I got to keep 100 feet away from elementary schools now?
Looks like someone
is on the sex offender registry list, baby. Forever.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and that does like mess with your housing. 'Cause then, yeah.
It does. Like, so we don't talk about like housing justice for people on the sex offender registry list, but wait, didn't we on a podcast recently? Was that us?
Maybe.
Or was that me and my brother? That might have been
you and
me
your
and my
brother.
brother. Yeah, because it's kind of fucked up. It's like something that is not restorative justice in any way. And I find it's super weird because a lot of leftists have the most conservative views on sex offenders. And they're like, yeah, sex offenders should be like put in prison camps. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, some people are in the sex offender registry list for like asinine ideas. Like, they made porn with their girlfriend when they were like 17 or something and it got leaked. And they're on the sex offender registry list forever. I mean, yeah, there are definitely monsters on the sex offender registry list who should, you know, be kept tabs on for pretty much ever. But those people have according sentences in parole series for things like that. Whereas, you know, there was this guy in high school who at the state fair, he got really drunk. And there was like a ticket booth and there was a door there with like where the door handle would be. It was just like a hole. And so he went and stuck his dick in the hole. And he's on the sex offender registry list for life.
Damn.
Which is fucked up, I think.
Yeah.
Right? I think this kid's an asshole and an idiot. And yeah, he should get punished for doing dumbass bullshit like that because it's unacceptable. But being unable to live within, you know, in some communities like a mile of a school, like it makes housing impossible to find.
Yeah.
And like good housing, because good housing is near schools. And especially like if you have a kid, like it then penalizes a child by not being like be able to live within a walkable distance of a school and like not being able to be dropped off by their parent at their school.
Yeah.
It's like, so what's a kid to do? Like it penalizes a kid into having to take like unsafe conditions like constant public transportation when they're very young. Stuff like that. And you know that, yeah, it just fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It's really fucked up.
All because he thought there was a glory hole at a carnival.
Yeah, right?
At a county fair.
Whom among us has not? I have almost stuck my dick into so many clown holes before.
I was about to say those clowns that you
Those
spray
clown holes.
You spray water into their mouths.
No, I gotta stick my dick in one of their mouths. You know, they're drinking that piss all day and stuff. I'm like, yeah, you're a dirty boy, aren't you? You're a real dirty boy. Like, but that would definitely put me on
the sex offender registry list.
You know what's a missed opportunity at county fairs is they should have that game in the urinals in the bathroom.
what missed.
Like, no.
Oh, I thought you were saying it's a missed opportunity, like MYST.
No, go in there and play Myst. You're going to go to the bathroom and be in there for like 5 hours playing Myst.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand the red and the blue book. What the fuck is happening?
No, if you go to a urinal, it should be the clown. The clown face, and you pee into it, and you can start peeing at the same time with other people.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, there's a balloon that will inflate the more you pee, and then pops at, and that's a game that you have inside the bathroom.
Yeah, wouldn't that be like a balloon full of ammonia?
Is that why they inflate? I thought it just hits a button. That's why.
Oh yeah, you might be right. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I think the spray hits a button that releases helium into it or something.
Right. I was thinking it had the water fill it up and it exploded. No.
That would suck. Yeah, if it was like actually getting filled with piss.
That would rock.
And then just pops. So then like you're playing the game. And then
Everybody loses.
Everybody loses. They all get peed on.
Yeah. It's better to get pissed off than pissed on, you know what I'm saying?
Don't release this podcast for a little while. I'm going to draw up some papers and I'm going to get that copyrighted.
Yeah.
That idea.
Okay.
I'm going to draw up some blueprints and I'm going to submit them for the urinal clown piss game.
I think clown mouth urinal is probably the best.
Clown mouth urinal.
Clown mouth urinal.
All right. Hi, Shark Tank.
Hey, Mark Cuban. Big fan of your radio on the internet or whatever, man.
Yeah. Hey, Sharks. My idea is a carnival game where you pee into a clown's mouth and it pops a balloon. and then you get to be the best pisser among all the other guys at the urinal.
Mm-hmm.
And like
whoa, Mark Cuban here. Do you get covered in piss when the balloon pops?
Absolutely, you do.
Count me in.
Give this man $1 billion.
You have full access to my bank account.
Yeah. Make this happen now. I need the prototype in my own restroom. Stat.
Can the balloon be my mouth?
What if? Now, hear me out here. I was the clown.
What if the real clown was my ass all along?
So my face goes here, right? Yeah, Mark Cuban.
I just want that piss douche, man.
All right, and so the more I get my mouth peed in, I squeeze this button and it inflates the balloon above my head. Yeah, Mark Cuban. All right. I think this is $1 billion idea.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
The clown mouth urinal piss contest.
Yeah.
Clown mouth urinal, the pissing contest. There you go. That's the full name of it.
It rolls off your tongue.
Yeah, it's a good like movie title. Clown mouth urinal, the pissing contest.
Yeah, I can see it being like a cult type of game that eventually gets a movie made out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized that we're talking about this and change it for one of the best episodes of Deep Space Nine ever made. One of the most important Deep Space Nine.
It's one of the best episodes of any show ever made.
Any show ever made. Like everyone should have won a fucking Emmy award for this show.
Yeah, they should have stopped making Star Trek after this.
Like this is the magnum opus, and I'm talking about pissing in the clown mouth.
You know what? Sometimes you piss in the clown mouth. Sometimes the clown mouth pisses in you.
I need to show some respect to this episode because it is the best, one of the best episodes.
So today we're reviewing Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 6, Episode 13, Far Beyond the Stars.
Yes.
Released first on February.
February. Lousy smarch weather.
Yeah. February 11th, 1998. Oh man, that's fun. It is the 136th episode of DS9. And actually the 135th released, so there was one, it was not released in order. The teleplay is by Ira Stephen Bear, who we know is the showrunner of Deep Space Nine at this point and from Season 4 onward. And also Hans Bimler, who wrote 26 episodes of DS9 and 10 of TNG, including Who Watches the Watchers, Yesterday's Enterprise, and on DS9, Favor the Bold, Trials and Tribulations, Sacrifice of Angels, and the finale, What You Leave Behind.
Oh, nice.
So he's responsible for a lot of good Star Trek out there. Yeah, cheers to Hans Beimler. Boimler. And then this episode is very notably directed by Avery Brooks, who directed an episode or two before this and after this. But this is, I think, inarguably his most important episode.
Yes.
And, we talk about it quite a bit on like my interview with David Krenning Seitz, but Avery Brooks has a strong history in the tradition of black radicalism, and especially in his like one-man show of Paul Robeson, who was like a black scholar, and so he brought a lot into this role, and both his direction and his acting are 10 out of fucking 10.
Yeah.
11 out of 10 at all times in this episode. It is beautifully crafted.
Yeah.
Like from start to finish. And it's really just like a very Sisko episode, a Sisko-centric episode, and it really shows like the depth to which he knows this character and which he feels this character. And I think it's really, really quite important. Do we want to jump in?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we open on Sisko receiving news from Kira that the Federation is facing more casualties and he's losing more friends in the Dominion War day by day. After she leaves, his dad comes in and says he's worried about Ben, who confides in him he doesn't know how much more he can take of this war, and suggests maybe it's time for him to step down and let somebody else make the hard decisions. Nobody wants Cisco to leave. We all fucking love Cisco.
Could you imagine, though, if he did? No, that'd be funny.
That would be a crazy thing for him to, like, leave with Jadzia.
Yeah. He's just like, you know what? I've had enough. And then, like, he never fulfills his prophecy or anything.
That would be wild.
He kind of almost does in, like, kind of presumes he does in, what's the episode with Jake where he ages?
Oh, yeah.
What's the name of it?
I don't recall.
It's on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, that really good episode with Jake. And yeah, it just shows him in the future and where I guess he presumably never fulfills his prophecy that he was supposed to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, like, he's important to this, and especially, like, to the war. Like, the prophets, they only communicate through and with Cisco.
Yeah.
You know, and that's pretty clearly seen. Like, several attempts are made to, like, communicate with the prophets, especially by Kai Wynn. Mm-hmm. Like, really, I was watching an episode the other day of her, like, really trying to talk to the prophets, and they just don't even care about her.
No.
It's great. They think she's bullshit because she is.
Yeah, she's forever forfeit from the celestial glories.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She doesn't get any of them.
She does get to be at the celestial glory hole, though. She can suck some prophet dick.
Or Ducat.
Ducock.
Ducock.
Ducock mish. Ducock mish.
Ducock Mitch McGraw. Ducock Mitch McGraw. Ducock Mitch McConnell. Sorry.
Cool. So, Ben hallucinates Rene Auberginois in the 20th century suit and wonders what's happening to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like, who is that?
Mm-hmm.
And
we then see Cisco talking to his girlfriend, Cassidy, in the hallway, and he hallucinates Worf as a 20th century baseball player and asks his girlfriend who that was. She's confused. Mm-hmm. He enters the room he was in and is transported to 1950s New York, where he's hit by a cab, like Fateful Findings style.
Yeah.
Julian checks him and says he's got some strange neural patterns going like the ones he had when he had visions from the prophets. Bashir asks him to look at the readings, and suddenly Cisco is fully in 1950s New York. Aaron Eisenberg, playing a newsie, talks to him about sci-fi and says he likes war stories better. He's met by his colleague, Albert, played by Colm Meaney, who walks with him to the office, indicating Cisco, who's now called Benny Russell, is popular among his colleagues. Credits open.
Yeah.
Credits open. So we're transported back to 1950s New York, and we have no idea why.
Yeah, it's a great opening, I think.
Yeah, it makes you go, huh, what the fuck's happening?
What the motherfuck is happening?
Give me some more! So we reopen on a writing office, and we've got all our favorite characters here. Kira is playing a woman writer. Bashir is playing a British writer, notably not coded as brown or Middle Eastern as Alexander Siddig is, but instead British, which he also sounds like. Yeah, it is. And Armin Shimmerman as a Jewish sci-fi writer who immediately complains about how old the donuts are and threatens to leave for Galaxy magazine, which was actually a real publication at the time. Colm Meaney comes over and asks where his matches are, and Benny says he gave them to him. This is the beginning of the portrayal of Meaney as a mostly vacant white guy who keeps succeeding mostly because he's not too bright, doesn't take any risks, and is overall failing upwards due to his white privilege.
Yep. And all he likes to write about is robots.
He does like writing about robots because they're, cool.
Yeah. He's like, I just think they're neat or something. I think they're efficient.
Yeah, they're efficient. That's what he says.
Yeah.
So next we get Martok, but he's Martok from the art department.
Yeah.
Martok.
Martok.
Artok.
Yeah, Artok.
Artok. Chancellor Artok.
And he's definitely playing sort of like almost kind of like counterculture 1950s
kind of beatnik-ish guy.
Beatnik dude. Yeah, he definitely doesn't like adhere to any sort of the conventional styles or anything.
No.
He's just like a freewheeling guy that likes to make some weird ass art, man.
Yeah. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like and I do like how this episode has everyone playing different characters.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely feel like J.G. Hertzler is probably playing a character very close to his own heart, right?
Yeah, yeah. He seems like kind of just a cool, artsy, funny dude.
Yeah, it's like Jonathan Frakes playing Riker, just being himself basically, and this definitely feels like I could see this actually being J.G. Hertzler's like real character.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's an art guy, and he gives out sketches to make stories of. Mm-hmm. This is a fun scene where the different writers are basically taking drawings and assigning themselves stories in a pretty typecasty way. He has a drawing of DS9, and Benny Russell is immediately drawn to it. Mm. So next we meet Pabst, played by Rene Auberjonois, and he's an asshole publisher who was originally cast as Armin Shimmerman. Mm. But Ira Steven Behr was afraid it would come off as anti-Semitic, so it was recast as Odo instead.
Plus, I think it also keeps kind of like the dynamic that they have on the ship.
It definitely does. Yeah,
where, like Odo's a fascist, and Quark is just a funny little guy.
Yeah,
that likes to be a little.
He's a funny little libertarian guy.
Yeah, he likes to be an antagonist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Pabst is also very much akin to science fiction writer and editor John W. Campbell, best known for Astounding Science Fiction magazine and being a real racist piece of shit as well. Mm. So fuck that guy.
Fuck him.
Mm-hmm. Pabst says the publisher wanted to print a photo of the writing staff and that not a visitor better sleep late that day. She commiserates the misogyny, and Benny asks if he better sleep late too, which Pabst says is nothing personal, but as far as the readers are concerned, Benny Russell is white. It's a pretty fucked up thing to say to someone who's not white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're still dealing with America's very, very openly racist laws still. So it's just there's this would make sense.
Yeah. Do you think our listeners think we're black?
No.
Why not?
Oh, they have to follow us on social media.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Hmm. And if they don't, how do you think they know? I'm just trying to make you uncomfortable, and I think it's working.
They can see the weird photo I've edited of myself with my eyes going in different directions. So, just like woof.
Cool.
That guy.
Yeah. Obviously white.
Yeah.
So this is where Armin Shimmerman becomes an absolute GOAT ally. Herb is his name. He comes at Pabst for the structural misogyny and racism. And honestly, he does not relent for this entire episode, which is sick as fuck. He
rocks.
Yeah, he totally rocks. I love his writing.
Which I do, and I do love, because later on, there is he is framed in a certain way during a very vital during a very important scene.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Which is so there's all this leading off some payoff later, which is great.
Mm-hmm. So Benny asks, what about writers like W.E.B. Du Bois, Zora Neale Hurston, Langston Hughes, Ralph Ellison, and Richard Wright? And I actually had no idea up until this point that Ralph Ellison was black, the guy who wrote Invisible Man. Didn't know. That's pretty great. That's cool. That's a great question though. I mean, black sci-fi has kind of always been a thing. Mm-hmm. So Pabst says that's literature for liberals and intellectuals in a classic systemic blaming it on another class thing. If it weren't the readers, it would be the publishers. If it weren't them, it would be the distributors. If it weren't them, it would be the booksellers. There's always a class that you can say will oppose something, but that's not a reason to not publish something. In fact, one could argue that's the reason you should publish things.
Yeah.
Pabst says he wishes things were different, and Benny says that wishing never changed a damn thing in a truly chilling delivery. Armin Shimmerman calls Pabst a dog, which I fucking loved. He goes, "You're a dog." And I'm just like, damn you, I fucking love you, Quark, even though it wasn't Quark.
Yeah.
So Benny leaves work, which is in the Arthur Trill building, and gets harassed by Mark Alamino and Jeffrey Combs, who are playing racist cops.
Mark Alamino is probably playing himself also.
Honestly, he like sinks into it way too easily.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Combs is really good too, but like Mark Alamino is just so scummy.
Yeah, especially like watching, the Deep Space Nine documentary and just seeing how he is in real life. It's just like how uncomfortable he makes people. I can see him being like, oh yeah, this is just really me.
Hell yeah. This is a truly clear ACAB moment in Star Trek, and it's really great.
Yep. Yeah. The cops are instantly the villains.
Yeah, just unlikable bad.
Yeah, which is very true in real life.
So, I actually wrote in my notes that I find these actors sus now because they're too good at their characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, next we see Benny exiting the subway, and Sisko's father, who is now a street preacher, tells him he must write the truth that's in his heart, the truth that will set them free. Benny's confused by this and returns home to an apartment that would cost at least $5,000 a month in New York now.
Yeah.
He looks at the drawing and begins writing Captain Benjamin Sisko sat looking out a window. He looks at his reflection in the window and sees himself as a captain. He is inspired, and the words begin to flow from his fingertips. Yeah.
Kind of how, like, Avery Brooks is in the Captain's movie, where he's just playing the piano.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I fucking love that scene.
He's always just like, I think, they describe Avery Brooks as moving by the beat of jazz all the time.
he does feel like a jazzy guy.
Yeah.
I love it. So next we see Benny walking into a cafe, and he tells his girlfriend, who's a waitress there, Cassie, that he's written the best story of his life. She tells him that her boss will sell them at the restaurant, but Benny doesn't want that for his life. Not that they will sell them at the restaurant, but they'll sell them the restaurant. Mm-hmm. She wants him to be a restaurateur with her. Mm-hmm. But Benny doesn't want that life. He wants instead to write. She tells him to look at their future instead of the future of the planet. Next, Michael Dorn comes in as a baseball player and tries to hit on Benny's girlfriend, but she's having none of it. She asks him why he's still living uptown despite being a famous baseball player. He says they're barely used to him being in baseball, much less living next to him. I don't know if him wearing a red suit there was a subtle reference to redlining, but if it was, that's a damn good, like, very subtle reference. He says to white people he's just another colored boy who can hit a curveball, which is, I mean, yeah, very, very 1950s. I mean, almost like modern, like almost modern.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, he enjoys some modicum of success and acceptance in the world and white America, but not enough to actually truly join them. Right. And
even though he's like in their class level, like monetarily now, he's still not in their class because race has and always will be a class in racial capitalism in the United States.
I do like his character being there because he seems to almost just like he's aware of it, really.
Yeah.
Just kind of just like accepts it. And it's just like, but it's like,
I mean, they're all aware of it. They're all aware of the system they're living under, but they all feel powerless to it because what are you going to do?
Yeah, and he's just trying. He's like enjoying his modicum of celebrity, and just like doesn't seem to let it affect him, where everyone else seems to be more like. More consciously aware, like. Well,
also everyone else isn't in his monetary class level,
no. So he's that's why he can just like let all that stuff go by the wayside,
because he's like a upper middle class black person, whereas they're mostly lower middle class and poor black people.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So they have bigger concerns than him, even though he still has a lot of class issues.
Yes.
So this episode is just largely about classism on different levels, not just black versus white, but multiple classes.
Yeah, you see on the other end of the spectrum, like Jake's character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who's like a criminal, but we'll get to him. Jimmy. Jimmy. Next, Sarah Lofton comes in as Jimmy, a petty thief with a John Waters mustache.
Yeah, he looks great with that.
Mm-hmm. Who Benny says has to turn his life around before he gets into some serious trouble. Jimmy says he's not going to work as a delivery boy or a dishwasher. Once again, class issues here. Jimmy excoriates him for writing about white people on the moon, and Benny says he's not doing that anymore. He's writing about colored people on the moon, and Jimmy says, yeah, he just might do something like that. Next, we're back in the offices of Astounding Tales, and everyone is flipping their shit over Deep Space Nine, just like we do on this podcast.
Yeah.
We fucking love that shit.
Yeah.
We fucking love Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, we flip out with our tips out.
Yeah, we do. We jerk out with our cocks out. Also, Terry Farrell is a secretary and, predictably, a smoke show.
Yeah.
She says it's the best thing she's ever read. Colmini can't articulate how he feels, and Armin Shimmerman is also very, very, very impressed. Even J.G. Hertzler is impressed, wanting to do a cover sketch for the story. Then...
Motherfucking Paps.
God damn it, Paps.
Yeah, he comes in and says the story is good, but he can't print it because it has a black captain, which he even uses the lowercase N-word for.
Yeah.
Which actually kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
And this episode also has the only use of the N-word in all of Star Trek, which is actually kind of shocking.
Yeah. And it is pretty obvious. Like Paps is like he puts his hands up and acts like he's powerless, and he's actually just acting through orders from other people. But he's really acting in his own interest. Like he
in his own class interest as well.
His own class interest. He doesn't want to print that story.
No, he doesn't.
But he doesn't want to. But he wants to shift blame from himself and not make him seem like as the responsible party. That is what his true intentions are.
He's a real piece of shit.
Like he does. It's pretty obvious. Like he doesn't at any point go defend Benny Russell in any sort of way.
Absolutely not. He's a motherfucker.
He's a
real motherfucker.
Yeah, he's really good at playing assholes. I mean, you know, Odo, but yeah, I mean this guy is definitely pure evil.
yeah, absolutely. Like racism flows through his veins.
Yeah.
Like it's just ice cold. He says he's not a crusader here to change the world, which, like, what is the job of a science fiction editor except for that? Like, I don't know. You're kind of supposed to look to the future, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I always felt like, especially like in the early days, like sci-fi was a way of talking about these issues, talking about stuff like race and class in very obfuscated ways, where you can put it through the lens of sci-fi and kind of just like talk about social progress in a way that's acceptable due to the aesthetic distance with subjects. So, you know, and that's what a lot of writers did. You know, like Arthur C. Clarke, like, you know, had different races, especially in like Childhood's End and also in the Rama series, had people of color and like and they got away with it.
Yeah, that's because
Arthur C. Clarke is white.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, he was able to get in because he's white. Yeah.
Yeah. So Armin Shimmerman comes at Pats with some absolute shredded shit, saying that is the most imbecilic attempt to rationalize personal cowardice he's ever heard. Which is like, damn, dude. Well said.
Well said.
Everyone should talk to their boss this way.
I know.
Don't call your boss an imbecile. Tell them they're making imbecilic attempts at things.
And it's true, and also and that like Armin Shimmerman is able to get all these pot shots out because he's using his his whiteness or like to talk back to the boss, because he just pretty much eviscerates him constantly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And does not suffer any sort of consequence because of that. Like he's not fired.
No.
Like he's not reprimanded in any way, shape, or form. Like Paps almost like loves arguing back with him. And so, but so it's like, yeah, like he's able to get away with it because of his status.
Absolutely. I just loved the scene. But then Pap says, he tells Herb that he's been angry ever since Stalin died.
Yeah.
And
Like,
so,
you call me a commie?
yeah, Herb gets really pissed about being accused of being a communist, which is maybe the one fault I find in this episode.
Yeah, but also at that time, that's when people were being blacklisted.
Yeah. But at the same time, it'd be cool if he would like almost back down because of that, because he is a commie and he didn't want to get blacklisted.
Yeah, like as I could see, like if he were to say he was, like Paps would definitely be reporting him to the
Absolutely,
McCarthy
he would.
Commission. He would be blacklisted from everything.
Yeah, bummer.
Yeah.
But in return, Herb calls Paps a craven fascist, which was so fucking sick.
That rocked.
Yeah, I was just like, craven fascist!
Got him.
Yeah, we love to hear that shit. So, Cole Meany asked Paps how he liked his story, and guess what? He loved it.
Yeah.
It's a simple tale about robots doing robot stuff. Meany is also holding bongos here, and for what reason I will never be able to say, but it's a nice touch.
Yeah, I like it. I
think it's just making him more simple even.
Yeah.
He's just the guy with bongos in the office.
I couldn't tell if they like him being obsessed with robots. I couldn't tell if he was supposed to be like an Asimov stand-in, but probably
Maybe.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was great anyway. But yeah, as you said, like, yeah, he's just like the guy who fails upwards.
I think, since he's holding bongos, I think he's Jasimov. You know what I'm saying?
Jasimov.
Isaac Jasimov.
Isaac Jasimov.
Yeah. Isaac Jacksimov.
That can be your porn name.
Isaac Jacksimov.
Isaac Jacksimov.
That's actually a great porn name. Isaac Jacksimov.
If anyone wants to use it.
Yeah, or it could be a porn name. It could be a drag queen name, drag king name.
Yeah, drag king name. That'd be great. Isaac Jacksimov.
Isaac Jacksimov. Jacksimov.
Jacksimov.
So Paps tries to make a compromise with Benny, but not on Deep Space Nine. He says he should stick in a drawer for 50 years or however long it takes the human race to get to the point where they'll accept it. Benny says he wants people to read it now, and Paps says he will if he makes the captain white.
Yeah.
That sucks. It should be noted, the music on this episode is very much jazz-inspired, much more so than usual, with horn mutes and stuff they don't typically use in DS9 music.
No.
It's really fucking sick. Next, Benny is back at Cassie's Cafe, and Jimmy says he was wasting his time and says the only reason they'll ever let him in space is if they need someone to shine their shoes. Damn, son.
Yeah.
He commiserates with his girlfriend when suddenly none other than Worf grabs Benny by the shoulder and scares the piss out of him. But no, it's not Worf. It's Hawkins, also played by Michael Dorn. So it seems like Benny's world and Cisco's world are starting to like kind of blend together here at this point. They're having visions of other things. So.
I did think it was interesting. Worf is wearing like traditional Klingon uniform.
Yeah, that was interesting that he wasn't wearing a DS9 uniform at all. Yeah. I wondered about that. But,
yeah, I was wondering maybe because like
during this time he is serving on Martok's ship, I think. Or it might, because this is directly after his wedding.
Okay.
So I do believe he's serving on Martok's ship at this point, or it might not be until.
But in the next episode, he's back on the Defiant.
Interesting. So maybe not.
What I was wondering is because like Benny had already like envisioned what the captain would look like for his story, Deep Space Nine.
Right.
And so since Worf is an alien, like he would have to imagine him wearing his alien outfit.
That makes more sense too.
Because
yeah.
like, he's scared by Worf.
Right.
He's shocked by
right.
Worf. So yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So Hawkins apologizes to Benny, who says he needs to go. Hawkins makes a pass at Cassie, and she rejects him. Which is like a theme for this episode.
Yeah, I think doesn't he go like 3 strikes, you're out to Hawkins?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I love that.
So Benny walks the streets and sees the preacher for a second time. He tells him he doesn't understand what he wants from him, and the preacher says to follow the path of the prophets. And it's clear at this point, maybe the preacher is like speaking for the prophets, like to the emissary at this point somehow. He tells Benny to write the words that will lead them out of the darkness into the path of righteousness as he walks away. Benny goes home and sits at his typewriter. Later, Cassie turns on some music and cuddles a tired Benny. Manuscript hugged tight in his arms. He forgot his date with her at 10 p.m. She asks him why he's writing another story about a black captain, and he deflects from the conversation. Cassie says she has to be going, but invites him for a dance before she leaves. He's suddenly transported to DS9, and Cassie says something about the Dominion. Benny says he thinks he's losing his mind, as if he's becoming Captain Sisko. Have you ever thought you're becoming a starship captain in your mind?
Yeah, I think I told you about that. Like when I was on mushrooms, I thought it was a starship.
Oh, you thought like Jefferson's starship?
Well, yeah, I thought my body was an actual starship.
Like we built this body on rock and roll.
Yeah, well then there's little guys dancing to power the engines. So I've imagined I was a starship,
Interesting.
but not a starship captain. I would love to be a starship captain.
If you were a starship, what would you be powered by?
Well, in the hallucination I had, I was powered by magic dancing. And so it was like a fusion of science and sorcery.
Yeah.
And they were able to power the engines that way.
Yeah. Science and sorcery.
Science and sorcery.
You just described a Hitachi magic wand, baby.
Oh, hells yeah. No. What about you? Have any ever believed that you were a starship captain?
Yeah, I am. I feel like I used to go by Captain Brit on this program. Now I go by Comrade Brit. So
that's true.
I feel like I used to feel like a captain. Now I feel like I'm just letting this flounder in the wind on fire until it burns away.
Oh, hells yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah, sometimes you got to whip your dick out at the supermarket, find out if it's really super or not.
You got to take a poll of all the shoppers.
Yeah. And if you get less than 50%, it's not a supermarket, it's just a regular market.
And then you have to submit to being executed in the parking lot.
As usual.
And have your meat sold in the meat department.
Yeah. That's why every good grocery store has a parking lot guillotine.
It's true. Yeah.
If you go to a grocery store and it doesn't have a guillotine in the parking lot, it's not a good store, dumbass.
And that's the thing. Like, there's great risk and great reward that's completely dependent on public opinion, which can shift for any reason. Like, sometimes some people just want to see a beheading. So you kind of have to, like, kind of do a kind of gauge people's, like, attitudes before submitting yourself to the test.
No.
Because, sometimes, some people will be angry and they'll say, oh, that's it. That dick sucks.
Why is it called beheading? Shouldn't it be deheading?
That's a good question.
Like, if you're benighted, knighting is placed upon you.
You're not denighted.
Right.
Oh, I guess because you're benighted. That's giving you a knighthood.
Yeah.
A D-knighthood would
be taking away. And beheading and deheading are like the same thing, though.
Yeah, but deheading's not a word.
It could be.
Could be.
Yeah, it's a word.
It's a word.
Deheaded.
Yeah, but not deheaded. That's not a word.
No, I think it is for like things that have heads that aren't really heads, like the head of a flower. Like I think that's. I don't think it's called beheading it when you pop the head off.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, either way.
Or like the head of your penis. Yeah. I think it'd be deheading it if you are gloving, I guess. Yeah. Think about that.
No, thank you.
Think about sticking it in like a router machine.
Jesus Christ, on a heart-shaped box.
Okay.
And a plexiglass custom-made box that has a heart core in it. Yeah.
Yep. We love that. So Paps bursts from his office door asking if Benny's lost his mind, having written another 6 stories about a black captain. Damn, he's been busy.
He's been busy.
Julius Eaton, Bashir's stand-in, encourages him to self-publish. Albert, O'Brien's character, says he should write them as a dream, trying to take the Great White Compromise.
Yeah, like, and take the and take the like the weight of it away completely.
Yeah,
just like
absolutely.
they take the meaning away. Like, that is a cop out in any sort of like property where it's just like they have something and it turns out it was a dream, means it was all completely meaningless.
Mm-hmm. Benny asks if it would make a difference. Paps says maybe, depending on who. Herb says making it a dream guts the story. Once again, Herb is the GOAT, and he's right in everything he says.
Mm-hmm.
Benny says it's better than writing it in chalk on a sidewalk. Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
It's also better than getting outlined in chalk on a sidewalk, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The man be after you.
That's true.
The man be after you.
Mm-hmm.
Next, Benny, joyous, encounters Jimmy on the street, but Jimmy is busy with some work. In Cassie's cafe, Hawkins is hitting on her when Benny arrives. Hawkins says he hit 2 for 4 in a game last night, but Benny says he hit it a grand slam. His story is published at 3 cents a word. They're both overjoyed. And this is pretty interesting because they discuss their pay rates earlier in the story, and it's clear that, like, the women are getting paid like 2 cents a word, and then I want to say that Herb, the Jewish guy, is getting paid 3 cents a word, and then Cole Meany doesn't even say how much he gets paid, which I think assumes that he probably gets paid the highest in the office because he's just the dumb white guy that's completely non-ethnically coded.
Yeah.
Yeah, writing the easy robot stories.
Does he even have his Irish accent in this?
He kind of does.
Yeah.
He has like a Cole Meany accent, which is vaguely Irish. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that's when what's his face who created Scientology.
Oh yeah.
L. Ron Hubbard.
L. Ron Snubbard.
L. Ron Snubbard. Like he was paid per word, and that's why he's just verbose and adds too many words. Very verbose, yeah. Like his early sci-fi that he wrote when he was being paid by word is he would just include as many words in there as possible, and he would just take home paychecks, and that's how he was able to, really get that money for the foundation of Scientology.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to think about.
I wish he would have eaten poison.
Yeah, that'd be great.
On purpose.
His books do suck. I've tried reading them, and they're probably the worst things I've ever read in my life.
Yeah. Scientology is just an incredibly broken system that involves so many other broken systems and involves breaking systems in order for it to work. Mm-hmm. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
The fuck Scientology.
But yeah, I do like how they, but going back, this is, kind of how they worked. Because I can see L. Ron Hubbard being paid above the 3 cents a word. I can't remember how much he was paid, but it sounds like he would probably be also paid more for writing absolute garbage, where you see Benny Russell struggling 3 cents a word, and they're probably not even going to print it.
But he says he's getting it published at 3 cents a word for turning it into a dream, and they're both overjoyed. Later that night at the jazz club, Benny and Cassie are leaving. They encounter the priest again, and Benny tells him he got his story published. The priest is proud of him, but says this is only the beginning of the journey. He reaches for Benny's ear, and it's bleeding. But when Benny tries to see, there's no blood at all. The priest says the prophets says hope and despair walk arm in arm before disappearing. And I don't know, I do wonder if this is kind of an intentional inclusion of a priest to kind of shine a light on the work of black churches in the tradition of black radicalism, because a lot of black churches, traditionally were safe spaces for black leftist movements back in the early days. It's but not necessarily the Catholic Church. So I'm not sure exactly why they made it a priest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think just have the street preacher.
Yeah, I guess you gotta have the street preacher, and it makes him an obvious preacher wearing the priest's outfit. But yeah, could have put him in some robes or something. I think it actually might have made it more impactful if he was like a homeless guy. Maybe a little more Hollywood, but I think that could be interesting.
Yeah, but I think it'd be hard. Benny could you could see because he has that authority of being within the church.
True.
Benny would have listened to him, but if he was perceived as schizophrenic. Benny probably would have been
But the thing too is he could have said profound things that Benny could have connected with.
That's true. Yeah.
He could have been like, "I know about your story," and he'd be like, "How do you know about that?" and then he could have started talking. Yeah. Which I think would have been very effective in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But no shade on this episode. It's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this episode's perfect. Did it win any awards?
Yeah, it won some Saturn Awards and stuff like that. No big awards though, I don't think.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking the other day. It's just how Deep Space Nine was just cranking out those bangers. Just there's so many excellent episodes that are just deal with social issues you won't find writing like this in a lot of television now.
Right, and I think the thing is it's become more popular because it's seen as prescient over time.
Yeah.
They were really calling some shit that still exists back then. The fucking sanctuary cities, the Irish Revolution of 2024. All these things are coming up. And it feels like there is
some foretelling that's going on.
Right. Yeah. Maybe not quite yet with Ireland, but Sinn Féin is becoming a much bigger party around there, and if that's their political future, maybe we might see a coalition that decides to fully break off from Great Britain and the United Kingdom.
And Far Beyond the Stars is just always prescient because it's dealing with a thing that hasn't changed since this episode was taking place in 1950s, and it's still going on today.
We don't have quite the redlining Hawkins is experiencing with housing and stuff, but we do still have things like credit scores and things that are disadvantageous generationally.
Yeah, just the fact we have legalized slavery. We have
in prisons,
felony convictions that are given to a higher rate for the same crimes committed by white people. It's just it's we have the same sort of it's fucked up system, but now it's more it's more coded away from being directly racial, where it's just kind of it's personal responsibility.
Right. Thing. It's these are your moral failings, when statistically it turns out, certain people fall into the quote unquote moral failings category, which are typically things like having bad credit, being bad at paying loans back, doing small property crimes, stealing things, things like that, small indiscretions against society that only take place because we live in a capitalist hellscape, and sometimes there's no other options.
Just this, the systems are still in place and still operating.
They are. Be cool if we could smash them with a big hammer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sickle.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Communism will win.
Communism will win. 2024, baby.
Here's open.
Yep. So suddenly, after the priest leaves, there's gunfire. Benny runs up on the two evil cops from earlier over the dead body of Jimmy, shot twice for trying to break into a car. They say he had a weapon, and guess what the weapon is? It's a crowbar that he was breaking into the car with.
Yeah.
Benny breaks down over this and punches the cops, who in turn beat the living shit out of him.
Yeah.
Cassie tries to stop them, yelling that they're going to kill him. As they beat him, he sees visions of Ducat and Wei Yun beating him down. It's pretty heavy.
Also, at one point, I think he does see Worf as well.
Does he?
Yeah, I think
beating
so.
him?
Yeah.
I hope not.
I hope not.
I hope Hawkins isn't there helping the cops. It's yeah, let me get a punch in. I want his girlfriend.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be hard to cuck Avery Brooks.
No.
He seems fairly uncuckable.
Very. Even though like Michael Dorn is a very, very handsome man.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the intensity that Avery Brooks has.
No.
Nor the swagger.
It is funny, like Michael Dorn without the makeup looks like the goofiest guy.
Yeah, he looks like he has multiple computers at home.
Yeah, he loves smiling without the makeup. Like anytime he's ever done without,
he is always mugging. He do be mugging. He do be mugging.
He does look like he's like one of the friendliest guys in the world.
Yeah, he seems like it.
Yeah, but yeah, can't match the intensity of Avery Brooks.
No. So, weeks later, Benny is mildly... I mean, this obviously says a lot about violence against black people. Specifically at the hands of cops, specifically historically, but also specifically now.
Yeah.
It's more prescient than ever.
Yeah.
You know it. We know it. We see Black Lives Matter come and go, but, that's largely because it was never attached to any resolute thing like, I don't know, defund the police.
Yeah.
Like, yes, Black Lives Matter, so ...
Yeah.
And no one ever really filled in the blank adequately, except for disparate groups came up with different ideas, and liberals ruined everything.
Yeah, I think, because the funding of police is like vital to the protection of property and resources. So yeah, like that would be the logical jump to go, but once they were, people had to put a stop to that immediately. That's why there was like a full-on media war against it.
Oh, absolutely.
And so and like that we can't ever get. We live in a dystopia, so we can't ever get to the actual resolution.
No, so instead, no police departments got defunded.
They get more money every year.
Yeah, but somehow there are no liberals saying, okay, we've given more money to cops and things really haven't changed. What do we need to do? Liberals haven't done that. Instead, they've let conservatives run rampant over them, saying that defund the police happened and that they were complicit in it when it never fucking happened.
Just recently, we had the Fox News guy that came to Seattle.
Yeah, that was great.
That was great, and he was saying crime is rampant in Seattle, and because they defunded the police. And it's like, didn't the cops Seattle cops have more money than God, it goes to show there is no correlation between more police and lower crime.
There never was,
because one person does bring up the point to him where it's you have to actually fund social services because you have to actually invest in housing, education, job training, all of these things that would actually solve the problem of crime. But we send that money that should be going to those things, programs for people to drug rehabilitation programs.
The thing is, you'd have to set up brand new systems for that, which they think are expensive and scary, but they don't realize what kind of systems they set up under police departments that are expensive and actually scary.
Yeah.
The idea that instead of doing something to treat homelessness as an acute thing that happens in society, we just make homelessness a crime instead, and that way we can use an existing government agency to deal with the problem, even though they are in no way equipped nor ethically able to deal with the problem.
Yeah. And it really is dying by whiteness, because the reason why also those programs are so unpopular with people and people continually vote against them and for more police is because the idea of making a more equitable society where we remove poverty, where we work to actually eliminate, actually have a war on poverty instead of the war on the poor, which we do currently have, that it's completely pointless. It's because it's perceived as a non-white person getting something that they think that they shouldn't, and so that's why there's this people are just dying by whiteness because they continually vote against their own self-interest, because if voting to stop that would make another person get something that they feel they don't
right.
deserve.
And it's just people who just do not fundamentally understand that they have far more in common with a common homeless person than any billionaire or any multimillionaire they will ever hear of and never ever meet, because they don't meet people that far above their class level.
Never.
No.
You think
The only person you're ever going to meet that's far beyond your class level is like the CEO of your company if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Or rather unlucky.
Unlucky enough. Yeah, like you just won't see Elon Musk just walking down the street.
No.
If he did, it's on site, motherfucker.
Yeah, right.
It is on site.
This is on this podcast and mostly 100% in satire and in Minecraft. If I ever see Elon Musk,
because I don't know if you saw that picture of him at the border, like overlooking a bunch of people they detained crossing the border, and where he's wearing that fucking
that fucking cowboy hat.
That picture of him just like standing over a bunch of people that were detained, and him like talking to some government asshole, like that just filled me with such unspeakable rage. Like I was just like, I'm going to do some threats on the internet. I'm just like, it's not. I just need to stop, because it's just sick that this is, it's just like the perfect encapsulation of where our society's gone.
Yeah, it sucks, brother.
And we would rather have these fucking psychopaths where they are in power, completely untouchable, like are able to dictate policy, dictate culture, complete things that they live with outside of, that they do not even live within the confines of.
Yeah, they don't even take part in the culture that they're helping shape.
Nope, they're completely untouched by it, and we allow these people to operate with such impunity, and then we, to our fellow man,
except Elon Musk. Elon Musk feels the bullying that he gets online, which
does
is
feel the bullying.
Why you should try your best to get blocked by Elon Musk for calling him like a cuck boy or whatever.
Yeah, bullying works.
Bullying is funny when you're bullying upward.
But yeah, you have to bully upwards.
You'd never bully downwards.
Down,
No, bullying downwards is not fucking cool. No. Never bully on someone in a lower size than you, a lower class position than you, a lower power position than you. Yeah. Those things aren't cool.
Elon Musk is taller than me. I can bully him all I want.
Yeah. Telling your boss that you fucked their dad
is fucking cool, baby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't bully nerds. Leave the nerds alone.
No, the nerds have enough problems to deal with. They're actually solving the world's problems in their head. So don't fucking hit their head, That's not okay.
Leave the little nerds alone. Just bully upwards.
Yeah, bully upwards, like find a bigger dickhead than you at school and pick on him.
Yeah.
Seriously, work your own daddy issues out together.
Run Elon Musk over with your car.
In
Minecraft. Yeah. In this dream I had.
In this dream Benny Russell had. So weeks later, Benny Russell is mildly recovered from the shit kicking he got from the cops, and Cassie convinces him to go back to the office so he'll socialize and maybe feel better. He says he should be there when the first copies of his story arrives. She hands him a cane and asks if he's having any more hallucinations, and he says he's fine as he leaves out the door to go to work. Benny walks back into the office, and Herb is the first to greet him. Paps is still at the printer getting the new issues. They awkwardly talk about Benny getting the shit beat out of him. Albert has also sold a novel about robots.
Yeah.
We got a plane flying over us right now. Can you hear that?
I can hear that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We're picking that up.
Yeah. I was wondering what that noise was.
No, I'm just farting. I'll be farting over here. That's a long fart. I'm doing a ventriloquist fart. I call it the around the world, where I just make it go all
around the world, around the world.
That's what that song's about. Yeah, it was about a big weird fart.
Sounds like a
Sounds like a job for Methane Man.
sounds like a toad on a motorcycle.
So, Pabst comes back from the printers with nothing. The magazine has been pulped. The printer said that the issue did not live up to, quote, their usual high standards. And Benny is incredulous about this. Benny says this isn't right, and Pabst rebutes that it's not about what's right, it's about what is, which is a cowardly defense for racism. And he tells Benny the publisher said his services are no longer required. Benny says he can't be fired because he quits, and he starts to dump everything from the table onto the floor. Benny says he's tired of being calm and dares Pabst to call the police. He has a full mental breakdown, crying that he's a human being. In the future, the space station, they all exist in his mind. He says you can pulp a story, but you cannot destroy an idea. It's ancient knowledge. It's real. This is one of the most crushing and amazing performances in all of Star Trek, and I cry every time I watch it.
Oh, yeah. It's really good. Like,
It's amazing.
He is going all out.
Avery Brooks pulls out every single last stop for this and, like, puts all of his, like, black sadness into this performance, and it is crushing. It crushes me.
And it's because it is sad. Yeah, it's because you do see him, like, he was beaten. Like, someone close to him was murdered. Like, and he's just at his lowest, most powerless point at the end, but he still was trying to see hope in the feeling that there was hope at some point where he was going to have this story published, and it would have been very important to a lot of black people to have them read this story. Right. And he felt that he was going to make some sort of like societal change.
It would also be very important for white people to read the story too, to understand that, like, black leadership in America is a thing at this time that is still a complete dream to people.
Yeah.
You know?
It would have been, and to see it, like, finally after all of these setbacks and everything else, and get the final straw, it just, like, breaks him.
And it is kind of weird to me that this is not allowed too, because it does mention earlier in the episode that he was in the Navy, I believe. And then he wrote stories back when he was in the Navy, Benny Russell. And so in as much, at some point, there had to have been a black captain in the U.S. military at this point, right?
Yeah, maybe.
I assume so by World War II, because they had entire divisions, like the Buffalo Soldiers, that were just black soldiers. So I assume that, like, the leadership of that, there must have been a black person somewhere along the line. And so it is kind of weird to me that even, like, post-World War II, like, a black military leader is still not allowed, even in fiction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. I'd have to look into that. But so next we see an ambulance taking Benny away in a stretcher. As he lies in the ambulance, his captain's uniform on, the preacher looks down at Benny, telling him to rest easy. He's walked in the path of the prophets, and there is no greater glory.
That's why when he's going into the ambulance, I wonder if it is like something where, like, you know, O'Brien, you know, playing the doofy white guy, he makes sure that, like, Benny gets his cane back.
Yeah.
So you kind of wonder, was he, like, because, like, also, like, when Benny initially comes in after being beaten, like, you know, O'Brien tries to relate to him in some way.
But he's also the one who first walks to work with him at the beginning of the episode, showing that, like, the two are, like, friends, and you know, Colmina's character, even though you know, he's kind of the doofy white guy who plays things safe, he's still willing to, like, be friends with a black guy and walk with him to work. And so he's definitely, like, a proper ally, but maybe more of, like, a liberal ally rather than, you know, the more leftist type that Herb is.
Yeah. And also, Herb is, like, framed during Benny's breakdown. Like, Herb is in the background during the entire scene with Avery Brooks, and I'm wondering if that was something, like, because, you know, because Herb is was, standing behind him in a way, like, just like going to bat for him. But,
yeah, and he's going to bat for him this entire episode, which really does show kind of there was definitely back in the day too, like definitely like a black Jewish solidarity in certain places, especially in like places like New York where a lot were ostracized for different reasons. You did see a lot of like, especially like in the jazz world, a lot of like black and Jewish jazz combos. Yeah. So I don't know. So, Benny asks who the preacher is, and the priest says he's the dreamer and the dream.
Oh.
So Cisco is the dreamer and the dream. So which is which? This begs to ask.
Yeah.
Is Cisco dreaming of Benny, or is Benny dreaming of Cisco?
Yeah.
Right?
So I do like, that discussion where he's like, his whole perception of reality comes into question. Like his whole existence, like, and like who is who? Like I feel like I was both.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just like, and am I a figment of Benny's imagination, or is Benny a figment of mine?
Right. And it makes you wonder too, like, is there a dream that I've had that is my actual reality, and the rest of this is just a large dream? Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. I wish it was that way.
Yeah.
Let's hope. Let's hope I wake up from this nightmare.
And it's like Benny's dream of this utopian future is like, the dream that, is preferable to situation. Like, it's like he would want to stay in the dream.
That's what I think we all would. Wait, no. Benny would like to stay in his Cisco dream, I think. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So suddenly Cisco is back on DS9. Cassidy and Jake wake him up, and he was only out for a few minutes. So this entire, like, lifetime, basically. Or it's like,
basically an inner light.
Yeah. This is, like, at least, like, a couple months of his life, I think, here.
Yeah.
Because there's at least 3 weeks alone of him, like, recovering from having the shit kicked out of him. So... Yeah, probably a couple months that happens in just a blink of an eye for him. So his neural patterns have returned to normal in Cisco's size. Back in his quarters, Cisco's dad enters and says he has to leave and get back to his restaurant. He asks Cisco what he's going to do. Cisco says he's going to stay there to finish what he started. His dad quotes the Bible and says he's full of surprises just like Ben. Cisco says he wonders if it wasn't a dream. He wonders if DS9 is all an illusion, that maybe Benny is real, and they are merely figments of his imagination, like we just touched on. He wonders if somewhere, far beyond all those distant stars, if Benny Russell is dreaming of them. He then sees his reflection in a window, and it's Benny Russell. The end. The end of the fucking episode.
Whoa.
Yeah. What do you think, man?
This is an excellent episode.
Yeah.
Definitely feel it's definitely one of the most important episode of Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, all the other episodes were kind of working as a foundation for this episode to work. But yeah, it's incredible, and it's definitely a love letter to, like, sci-fi. Sci-fi in its heyday of, like, and when it's written and just like and touches on really important issues that, as we've talked about throughout the episode, that are very still prevalent today.
Yeah.
Like, these are very real things that happen, like police brutality, racism, like being denied jobs, like curtailing anything that could be perceived as promoting any sort of social progress. that's beaten down by the people in charge who fear that kind of thing, because a more equitable, free society is what they're against.
Yeah, because they see everything as a zero-sum game instead of, like, enriching the world. Because they know that the way they do it, they are destroying the world.
Yeah, because the world is actually a more evil Ferenginar.
It is
the Earth, and it'd come, and so it's just like, and I think and this episode did really like capture how powerless and just like frustrating, just like it was, just to make a living.
Yeah.
For our black people, just trying to live their lives.
Yeah, this episode is ultimately about racial injustice and racial capitalism.
Yeah.
Which is, a term that we really need to use more, because that is a system we have always lived under in the United States of America. And it's undeniable. I mean, it's, things have shifted now to where now, like, lower wage jobs are definitely offered to, like, more immigrant families. And there was a time where, like, there were certain types of white people, like Italians and Irish people, that were not white coded because they were seen as other, and they were otherized because they were recent immigrant populations. And so even after slavery and chattel slavery ceased to exist, we found ways through both the prison system in legalized slavery there, but also in things like migrant work, things like the au pair system, like ways that we could like curtail labor laws in order to get cheaper labor from the developing world.
Yeah, and we're doing that in America right now, just like with like gig economy.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like the more the changes but stays the same, and just like and just moving everything to just like improving automation, not to make lives better, but to just to increase the bottom line for any sort of company while continually reducing wages and making the problem of poverty worse.
Right. Except for I feel like the Vitamix.
Except for the Vitamix.
One of the few good things capitalism has made.
Good job.
Not racial capitalism. We could have done it without any white people, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, it's just it's a cruel system.
Life is cruel. And that's no excuse.
No.
That's a bad excuse, in fact.
Yeah.
Life shouldn't be cruel.
No, it shouldn't.
Life should be beautiful and resplendent, and you should wake up every day hoping you get to see another.
Yeah.
Until you're really old, and then probably not. So when you like wake up with poo poo in your diaper every day, that's probably the time you're like, I hope I don't wake up tomorrow.
Damn, I'm already waking up with poo poo in my diaper.
Well, I mean, that's your fetish. So.
Oh, gotcha.
Right. I mean, maybe still you're like ashamed of it. And
Yeah.
I hope I don't wake up tomorrow.
But no, this is a fantastic episode. It should be required watching.
Yeah, they
everyone.
should show this in sci-fi class.
They should, and it should be
in high school, because they have those classes.
And it is a shame this episode there is very little crossover between this is a episode that's highly celebrated by all Trekkies basically, except for maybe William Shatner types, but
motherfucking racists.
Yeah, which exist, and but I think it's considered to be one of the best episodes among all Trekkies. But but you don't really see this crossover to the mainstream, where it's just a non-Trek watcher wouldn't know about this episode,
right,
because there is this sort of I don't know, people feel like it's completely separated. They just feel if they're not a Star Trek person, they can't watch
because
this.
Even though it is a highly episodic episode and it stands well on its own, it does require a lot of knowledge of the series, and I mean, it doesn't require it. I feel like you definitely get a lot more enjoyment out of it if you're if you realize who's playing who, and that the art guy is Chancellor, or I guess at this point still General Martok.
Yeah, you understand, of course, Dukat and Wei-Yun would be playing bad guys.
Cops.
Yeah, they'd be playing cops because they're the villains. And,
because cops are villains.
And so, it would make sense in that context, but also I do feel like it can almost be watched alone, because, you would understand, the flashes of aliens, you would understand, these are characters from any story.
Right.
And... and that could be a reason why he chose to show Worf out of costume.
Sure.
Like, because if anyone not familiar with it were to watch this, they wouldn't associate oh, why is that?
Everyone knows who Worf is.
Yeah, everyone knows who. Yeah, everyone knows.
Worf, Picard, Riker, Data.
Yeah, if you were to ask a non-Trek watcher to name a Star Trek character, they probably would say Worf first.
Maybe, yeah, Worf is definitely like the one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, yeah, and honestly, I think they're pretty much all from TNG, like the big names, except for Spock.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, they probably named
Spock, Kirk, Worf, Picard, Riker. I'd say. Sadly, I don't think there's any women on the most recognizable Trek properties list.
No one's going to drop a Kieran Nerys reference.
No, definitely not. I wish they'd be dropping the Jadzia Dax.
Mm-hmm, yeah, no one knows Kieran outside of
maybe you know what? Maybe 7 of 9. Honestly, 7 of 9 is
7
actually because she became like Voyager.
Yeah, she did.
And yeah, she's pretty popular with the lesbians now. Shout out to our lesbians. We also love 7 of 9.
It would be interesting, like if you are able to just if you have someone in your life that has no knowledge of Trek at all, besides the cultural flotsam everyone picks up,
right?
Like to show them this episode and see how their reaction, if they're able to, enjoy it as an episodic piece of television and have it resonate with them. So I'd be interested to know if anyone out there is has that opportunity. Because I think mostly my life is filled with people who have watched Star Trek.
Show it to your roommate.
Yeah,
Patrick.
But yeah, otherwise, a lot of people aren't that familiar with it. But I think it is an episode because it does deal with such topics. Like I could see this being like a full length feature film.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it would have, if they had given it more time. If they had given Avery Brooks
let it marinate a little longer.
Oh yeah, this would have been like a good 2-parter. I think too.
Put some more mirepoix in that pot. Let it marinate a little longer.
Oh yeah. I think he would have done it would have been amazing feature length film.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, there's so many episodes of Deep Space Nine that could be amazing feature length films.
That's true. Yeah.
You could definitely do it with In the Pale Moonlight as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of the Klingon episodes for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Once More Into the Breach could definitely be a fucking movie.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I would have cried my dick off. My entire 2 Klingon dicks.
The entire penis would
right off.
Peni would have fallen.
Peni, yeah.
But yeah, no. But it's but people should watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they would get something out of it.
Yeah.
Like Avery Brooks is an amazing actor.
Yeah, he is cooking in this episode.
He really lets it all loose in the final scene.
He does.
It's incredible.
Yeah, he jacks this episode off, man.
Yeah.
To completion.
Mm-hmm.
And then it does it again, ruins him, ruins the orgasm.
Yeah.
Does a ruined orgasm. JOY.
Oh. Rue as in ROUX.
Ruined orgasm. Yeah.
Ruined.
That's on his dad's menu. the ruined orgasm.
That's how the jambalaya is thick.
Yeah. You see, we stick a little brown roux in there, and then I jack off into it.
I'm not eating at that restaurant.
Yeah, you are.
Well, no, I can't.
Especially if Jake is peeling the potatoes, baby.
I can't. I'm allergic to seafood, and I'm vegan.
Oh. But you were born in Maryland.
I know. I'm allergic to crabs.
How you gonna have a lobster roll?
We have crab cakes.
Oh.
Yeah, lobster roll is more Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got the crab cakes made with Ritz crackers.
Ew. That sounds gross, man.
No, I mean, I've never had it. I mean, I think I did as a baby. That's how we found out that I had it out. But
oh, because your parents tried to kill you with crab?
They did.
Cool.
Yeah. Vomited everywhere. All over a restaurant called Rusty Scupper.
Oh. And they're like, let's, oh my God, let's take him home and feed him more crab.
But yeah, so I don't even know the taste, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, glad you're still with us. Glad you didn't succumb to the crab.
Me too.
I mean, I know about your crab situation, but is it vegan to have crabs?
Probably not. Yeah, you can't get rid of them then.
And what about lice? No, you can't get rid of them. Oh, did you hear about the bed bug?
I did.
Thing?
They think it's going to be a pandemic worldwide.
Yeah, because like they had a bunch of bed bugs come into Fashion Week in Paris.
That's awesome.
And so all the rich trendsetters and shit are just gonna go around spreading bed bugs to all the other hotels in the world.
Yeah, and there's people taking pictures of them. And
Cool.
I stayed in a hotel nearby once when my car wasn't fixed in time, so I had to go stay at a hotel because I couldn't go back home.
Right.
Didn't make it back to work at 3 a.m. But like I stayed in a hotel that had awful bed bugs.
Yeah.
And my feet were eaten up. Like they were just straight up eaten. And
Cool.
I couldn't see them. They looked like it was like invisible. But people, the bed bug problem in
Are
France.
you sure you weren't doing meth?
I could have been scratching my feet. Yeah, just obsessively.
Yeah, you could have just been picking.
No, I was watching Hotel Star Trek, and
I always, you know what I always get stuck watching in hotels? Impractical Jokers.
That's interesting.
Yeah. By interesting, you mean not funny.
I've never seen it.
It's not funny.
That's what I've heard. Like that's the implication I got from it. Like it's definitely like the lowest denominator type of comedy.
It is. And the reason I think they're so successful is they came up with a great idea in that they don't use a laugh track necessarily, but they always have like a couple of their guys like playing a prank and like watching a screen of some other guy. And so like 2, 3, or 4 of them are always like laughing together, and they kind of laugh track it that way. And I'm like, that's sneaky. Because then people know where the laughs are supposed to be, even though this is objectively unfunny.
I think it'd be funnier without the laugh track.
I think it'd be much funnier. I mean, but then it wouldn't be funny at all. Yeah. I mean, then you wouldn't know when to laugh when it's supposed to be funny. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, we'll see.
Do you think they should have had a laugh track on Far Beyond the Stars?
No, that would probably have been. Like, I could see Paps putting that in.
Yeah,
I can see him being like, this is too much of a downer, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you, Paps.
Fuck you, Paps.
You fucking racist scum.
You would have been like, you know what? Put in a laugh track here. Yeah.
I don't have a laugh track. I only have applause. Sorry.
Yeah. And it is interesting. Yeah, and it is interesting. Like, yeah, he like Paps. Doesn't go as a conventional type of story where you see like the villain lose. Like there's no Mark Amo and Jeffrey Combs.
No, all the villains win,
and because that's real.
They never face consequences. Yeah.
It's real life, and it's just like those people are not punished
because they are part of the broken systems that exist that are bearing down on us, that are oppressive, that are racist and classist and homophobic and misogynistic and patriarchal.
Unless you see the fact, the utopian future as the eventual winning.
Yeah.
But it's like, because that's eventually 400 years in the future, like they were able to actually create a society that works and that has removed these things that have like plagued humanity for so long. And you can kind of perceive it as the win. But it's like, but yeah, just like in Benny's story, just Benny's life, immediate life. Yeah, it was, Paps has a job. The cops can have their jobs.
Yeah,
they continue to do racism.
Mm-hmm.
But right. I guess it's hopeful that we get to that eventual future. Hopefully.
No, that's not going to happen.
You can pray for a Star Trek future. I hope. I personally pray for a Star Trek future. As do I. I don't have any faith. I pray to the prophets. I don't have any faith in the heart, unfortunately. Yeah, I got lots of faith in the heart. I'm a personal pessimist, but a worldly optimist. That's good to be, I guess. Yeah, I feel like I'm very George Costanza.
Oh, then maybe you got to go against your better judgment.
But I do have faith that eventually we will have that Star Trek future.
Mm-hmm.
That's my hope. It's my dream.
Eventually, you'll be able to jerk off in the cereal aisle in public again.
Yeah.
Again.
And not get kicked out of Kroger.
Yeah, all the Krogers.
All the Krogers. I can do whatever I want. But yeah.
That's the redlining in your life.
There will be a holodeck that I can go into that I can't get kicked out of. That's my personal. I can seek out those sorts of desires in a holodeck where no one's hurt.
Yeah.
Where no one and I can just go in the cereal aisle and do that without getting banned from a Kroger.
Yeah.
The Kroger doesn't exist in the future. Kroger doesn't exist. It only
Oh
exists
shit,
now.
you're right.
Kroger only exists in that holodeck.
Oh mate, who makes the shitty generic oatmeal then in the future? The state?
The replicator.
Yeah, shit. Can I order it shitty?
Yeah.
Cool.
Shitty oatmeal number 5, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is shitty oatmeal number 5.
Got the brown sugar and maple in my life.
No, that's not shitty. That's a good one, man.
That is the good one.
Cinnamon and sugar in my life.
Yeah, which one?
One with raisins isn't nice.
Yeah, I guess just the plain with raisins.
Yeah, who fucking gets the raisin one? And also the cinnamon spice or whatever. That one kind of sucks.
Yeah.
It's all about the apple one or the fucking maple brown sugar.
That's true.
Or if you can get it, like there's some good like strawberries and cream. There's like a good peaches and cream one. The one with fucking dinosaurs though. That one's my shit.
That was one that I had as a kid, like the one that had the dino eggs in it, and when you put hot water onto it, the dino eggs would dissolve. And
if you put them up your urethra, they also dissolve and are very painful when they come out.
And then you give birth to the gummy dinosaur.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
The beauty of birth.
I have so many children. In my bottom drawer.
You just have the Jurassic Park theme song playing in the background.
Somehow life finds a way.
And then it goes.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's a great place for us to leave it. Talking about the most monumental episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine of all time.
Yeah.
If you put the oatmeal dinosaur eggs in your dick hole, you give birth to the little gummy
Avery Brooks
dinosaur.
Please don't judge me because of this, but just I love you.
You know he's loading the gun right now, right? We're fucking done, man.
We love you. Like you're an amazing actor, writer, director.
Yeah, this is the best, maybe the best episode of Deep Space Nine.
Absolutely. Hands down.
It's fucking great.
Yeah, it should be revisited. Like all the heartstring episodes. The Visitor, that's the one.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that one rocks.
Yeah, Visitor rocks. Like also one of my personal favorites is It's Only a Paper Moon.
Yeah, that one's pretty fun. Even though I'm not a big Vic Fontaine fan,
I love Vic Fontaine.
That is a great episode.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah,
it's a great 1-2 punch with the disaster or the siege of whatever his ship was. The episode right before that, and then the episode right after that, It's Only a Paper Moon.
Yeah,
are a great two-parter.
Yeah.
All about like a very big growth arc for fucking not Rom Nog, his son. Very good, very fucking good.
Deals with PTSD.
Yeah,
so like it's a fantastic episode.
Yeah, it deals with war trauma a lot better than something like I feel like Strange New Worlds has dealt with it recently.
Yeah, and it's great. Yeah, but it's like that's an episode that's hard to just show to a non-Trekkie because you have a space goblin and a hologram working through PTSD in a 1960s casino. So that's like
That tracks.
Yeah, but it was just like, you know, if you without the previous context of everything else in the series, to watch that episode on its own, you'd be like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
But it's
imagine
it's such a well written, beautiful episode, and it's just like I do feel that would be harder to just show to anyone than Far Beyond the Stars, because I feel Far Beyond the Stars there's enough like sort of like cultural cues with just like sci-fi,
right. It also harkens back to like another time, and most of the episode doesn't take place in DS9, and you don't need to know a ton about DS9 in order to get it.
No,
just that they're in a war, they're losing a lot of people. Sisko has to face a lot of hard decisions in his life.
Because if you were to start this as a short story, it would make perfect sense.
100%.
For your non-Trek friends, show them this. Probably have to watch a little bit of DS9 to watch.
Yeah, your non-racist Trek friends.
and probably have a little bit more context to watch. It's only a paper moon a little bit.
Yeah. Like at least show them my JOI video before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then they'll get it. Yeah. It's my JOI video, by the way, is called Only a Paper Cup, because that's what you come in at the end.
Woof.
Cool.
Down the hatch.
It's just one of those little triangular ones like they have at the shitty.
Yeah, I got those at work.
Yeah, they suck.
They do suck.
Whoever invented those is an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see the design of grabbing a cone, and so you don't crush it when you pull it down.
Yeah, I get that, but why not make it a cup?
I have no idea.
We have the technology. We have the means.
I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, I have cones at work, and then at where I take my unicycle class, they have cups.
Yeah, right.
So,
because they care about people.
They care about people.
Yeah.
The cups are very tiny, though.
You should unionize and get paper cups instead of cones.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah. Or go around, just strap them to your chest and be like, "I'm Madonna, Madonna." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then it'll be like, "Wait, is that the guy that changed his name to Feature Toey?" And now
not feet again.
And now it's all feet Toey over there.
God
and what's that? He's now wearing a paper cup bra.
It's only a paper cup.
It's only a paper cup. And watching a video called "It's Only a Paper Cup." He's fired.
Sir, we fired him 6 months ago. He just keeps showing up.
We keep trying to get the badge away from him. But he's very slippery.
He's squirrely, one might say.
Yeah, he's actually very nimble for his size. He's able to escape our grasp.
That's why you always bring silicone lube with you.
Yep.
And that's a big takeaway, I think, from this episode is you always bring silicone lube.
Yep.
And always unionize for cups.
Always unionize for cups.
Yep.
The good paper cups.
Well, thanks for hanging with us, Soyagers. Be well, travel safe, and absolutely go watch this episode.
Yeah, Far
Beyond the Stars.
Yep. Yeah. Excellent episode. Highly recommend. 10/10. 100 out of 100. Actually, 110 out of 100. Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
All right. Well, thanks for checking with us, soy boys, girls, and lily beans.
Ding
dong and shocker.
It's a real, it's a pizza pie.